Hello guys, we are students from Language and Literature Faculty from Universitas Negeri Makassar, and we are from Group 1. We are going to present our presentation about introducing to discourse analysis. But before we start the presentation, I'm going to introduce myself and my group members. My name is Alivia Priyatartadi as a moderator, and then the first speaker is Reski Amelia Anggreni. The second speaker is Shahrunif Binti Eni. The third speaker is Jihan Marani. And the fourth speaker is Yefuneli May Brianti. The fifth speaker is Gabriela Adelia. The sixth speakers will be present by me. And the last speakers is Muhammad Ikram Iqbatullah. Now we are going to start the presentation. Start from the first speakers, Reski Amelia Anggreni.
Okay, I'm Reski Amelia Anggreni who will explain about what is discourse. So, as you can see to the slide, in literature, discourse means speech or writing, normally longer than sentences, which deals with a certain subject formally. In other words, discourse is the presentation of language in its entirety while performing an intellectual inquiry in a particular area or field, such as theological discourse or cultural discourse. Foucault present possibly the best definition of discourse. He defines discourse as system of thoughts composed of ideas, attitudes, and courses of action, beliefs and practices that systematically construct the subject and the word of which they speak. Okay, thank you.
We are going to move to the second speakers, Shahrunif Binti Eni.
My name is Shahrunif Binti Edi. In this section, I will explain about discourse analysis. As you can see to the slide, the term discourse analysis was first employed by Zelig Harris as the name for a method for the analysis of the connected speech or writing for continuing descriptive linguistics beyond the limit of a single sentence at a time and for correlating culture and language. And then I will explain in a simple meaning. Discourse analysis used to analyzing the discourse that we can find the right meaning as the intention of the speaker in our daily interactions. Discourse analysis use text as an object, such as spoken text and written text. Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to move to the third speakers, Jihan Maharani.
I'm Jihan Maharani will explain the third material that is content analysis. So content analysis is a research method used to identify the presence of certain words, themes or concepts in a text. As you can see at this slide, according to Holsti, 1969, content analysis is a technique of making inference by identifying the characteristic of a certain message objectively and systematic. So the researcher measure and analyze the existence, meaning, and relationship of several words and concepts, then make conclusion about the message in the text. Text can be broadly defined as books, videos, essay, interview, discussion, newspaper, article, and document or anything in which communicative language occurs. So, content analysis is currently used in almost all fields to analyze all forms of communication. Let's move to the next slide. Um, the type of content analysis. The content analysis is divided into two types, that is qualitative and quantitative. So qualitative content analysis focus on interpretation and understanding. Meanwhile, quantitative content analysis focus on um, counting and measuring. Quantitative content analysis has two branches, that is conceptual and relational. In conceptual content analysis, a concept is chosen from examination, and the analysis involves quantifying and tallying its presence. Uh, Conceptual content analysis, also known as thematic analysis. Um, on the other hand, in relational content analysis, begins with identifying concept present in a given text or set of texts. However, relational analysis seek to go beyond presence by exploring the relationship between the concept identified. Uh, and also and also uh, and also relational analysis, also known as semantic analysis. In other words, the focus of relational analysis is to look for semantic or meaning relationship in the text. Conduct content analysis. So the first step is select the content you will analyze. The second is define the unit and categorize analyze. The third is develop a set of rules for coding. The fourth is code the text according to the rules. And the last is analyze the result and draw the conclusion. Okay, this following is the advantage and disadvantage of content analysis. So the first one is unobtrusive data. Here you can analyze communication and social interaction without the direct involvement of participants. So your presence as a researcher doesn't influence the result. The second is transparent and replicable. When done well, content analysis follows a systematic procedure that can easily be replicated by other researchers, yielding results with high reliability. And the last is highly flexible. You can conduct content analysis in any time, at any location, and at low cost. All you need, um, all you need is access to the appropriate sources. Let's move to the disadvantage of content analysis. So the first one is reductive. That means focusing on words or phrases in isolation can sometimes be overly reductive, disregarding context, disregarding content, nuance, and ambiguous meaning. And the second is subjective. Content analysis almost always involves some level of subjective interpretation, which can affect the reliability and validity of the result and conclusion. And the last is take a long time. Manually coding large volume of text is extremely time consuming. I think that's all for me. I think that's all about the explanation of content analysis.
Okay, now we are going to move to the fourth speakers by Yefuneli Mebrianti.
Okay, the next speaker is me, Funelime Brianti, and here I would like to explain about conversation analysis, or as known as CA. First, definition. Conversation analysis, or CA, is an approach within the social sciences that aims to describe, analyze, and understand talk as the basic and constitutive feature of human social life by signal. Or in other hand, or in simple word, Conversation analysis is a method for investigating the structure and the process of social interaction between humans. Next, elements in conversation analysis. There are adjacency pairs. One of the most common structure to be defined through conversation analysis is the adjacency pairs, which is a call and response type of sequential utterances spoken by two different people. The second is turn taking. In conversation analysis, turn taking is a term for the manner in which orderly conversation normally takes place. A basic understanding can come right from the term itself. It's the notion that people in a conversation take turns in speaking. The third is repairs. In conversation analysis, repair is the process by which a speaker recognizes a speech error and repeats what has been said with some sort of correction. Fourth, sequences. Some sequences prefigure a turn which contains a reason for the sequence. And the last is opening and closing. Opening conversation has two types. First is opening indirectly, like face to face. The second is opening in telephone. Also, there are two closing of conversation analysis. There are pre-closing and the second is closing. I think that's all.
Now we are going to move to the next speakers by Gabriela Adelia.
I'm Gabriela Delia, and now I will explain about critical discourse analysis. So, critical discourse analysis is an interdisciplinary approach to the study of discourse, or put simply, talk and text, that views language as a form of social practice. This analysis takes the position against the stream of dominance in a large framework to fight social injustice. Brief history of critical discourse analysis. Critical discourse analysis begins with the notion of the critical language awareness in the world of Western education. Critical discourse analysis is a continuation or even a part of discourse analysis. This is a comprehensive analysis of both its comprehensiveness, its methodology, and its implementation. Thank you.
And now the next materials will be presented by me. It's about historical overview. So, since in the early 1980s, scholars have in fact been addressing this challenge in a variety of ways. And recently, historical discourse analysis has begun to take shape as a distinct place. However, it must be said that the field of historical discourse analysis, as it stands today, consists of somewhat disparate strands of study. The first approach involves an application of discourse analysis to language history. The second approach involves an application of discourse analysis to historical linguistics. And the third approach, though less well developed than the others, it's more truly interdisciplinary, involving a synthesis of discourse and diachrony. That's all from me, and now we're moving to the next materials. Thank you.
Why we must learn discourse analysis. By studying discourse analysis, you'd be promoting yourself as a critical consumer of information. This means that you begin to view the way newspapers encourage you to look at something one way but not another. A common example is the freedom fighter or terrorist. Reason why we must learn discourse analysis. But another reason why we must learn discourse analysis is that CDA allows you to look at topics that interest you specifically. Finally, when you looking at CDA in more depth will give you new tools with which to study language, not just academically, but in everyday life too. For example, when you're reading newspapers or magazines, or maybe you're watching the news. I think that's all for me, from me. Thank you.
Okay, that's all from our presentations. We are sorry if we make some mistakes or maybe we make some mispronunciation. I hope this presentation will be useful for all of you. Thank you very much and have a good day.